What's up, everybody? Coming up on the pod, I got the Uso Eddie from the Etuale Eddie podcast joining me to do picks and margins, our weekly review of the upcoming games in Super Rugby Pacific and the NRL. We're going to do pick our winners and losers and the margins for all you punters out there, sports betting on TAB and whatnot. But first we're going to have a little discussion. We're going to talk about Jordan Petaia, the Wallabie back who plays for the Reds last year. I signed a contract with the LA Chargers in the NFL. So he's excited. And yeah, another one of the usos trying to apply his trade, fulfill their dreams to play in the NFL. We'll talk about that. Since Eddie's from the Etuale Eddie podcast, we talked about what's coming up on the discussions and on this show. This week we're going to be talking about, or the boys will be talking about the Naked Samoans and the backlash they've been getting for their new poster to their new show coming in May. Last Supper of Naked Samoans or something like that. But yeah, man, a lot of the Pasifika community is in the uproar with their choice of poster marketing their show, and we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll save the rest for the Etuale Eddie podcast. Yeah, man, the SCHUSTER podcast is brought to you by the West Network, brought to you by westwestnet.com. You can go find all our podcasts on our website, and if you want to subscribe or help us, support us, get some equipment and stuff like that, you can hit the donate button on our website at westwestnet.com. Yeah, so another podcast we're dropping, me and Eric. We are currently doing reviews of each episode of Daredevil Born Again. That's on Disney Plus. If you're into Marvel, like we are, like I am, and into the Marvel televisions and the Marvel Studios movies, then tune in to our podcast, the Channel 135. That's where we talk about our pop culture stuff, movies, TV shows, and all that good stuff. So yeah, me and Eric will be dropping the latest episode of Daredevil Born Again this weekend. So yeah, we'll be covering the latest episode on Disney Plus. Yeah, I think that's it. There's no 135 footy show this week or the Kind of Rock podcast this week. Those are our rugby league and rugby union podcasts, hosted by Stacey and Tanner respectively. I think everyone's busy with a polyfest with their kids and that. So hopefully we'll get everyone on board next week. But yeah, man, enjoy the show. We're going to do picks and margins. And yeah, man, let's get it. Roll the intro, let's go. Alright, we're back and I'm here with the Uso Eddie from the Etuale Eddie podcast. You can find them on Spotify and on our YouTube channel, the West Network YouTube channel, the Etuale Eddie podcast. Another episode dropping this week, man. Bunch of things happening this week, that we're going to talk about on the next episode.
Heaps.
There's heaps of things, man. The whole Naked Samoans are back with their new show starting in May. A bit of a controversial poster they put up there for the show. What's it called? Temptation Last Supper of the Naked Samoans.
Yes.
It's got a picture of the old painting there of Jesus in the Last Supper.
Yeah.
And they've just got that painting, but they've replaced the disciples with themselves, and they're trying to talk to Jesus and whisper in his ear. Jesus is in the middle of the table. It's brought a lot of controversy, and a lot of comments happening in social media, and man, it's been attacked. It's been attack mode from the Pacific Island community, from the Pasifika community. Attack mode on the Naked Samoans. But man, I also see some 50-50 calls too.
Yeah.
And there people agree, people don't agree, people saying calm down, people saying, oh, I want to stay out of this.
Oh.
But man, I know we're going to talk about it on on the next episode. They empty out the clip. I don't want to ask you your thoughts now, but what did you think of the whole thing, like the whole social media thing?
Oh man, like, because I think everyone had a strong opinion when they did it at the Olympics,
Mm.
when they had the those people of different races and whatnot. So having them do it now is like, oh, it's still, too soon. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And majority of Pacific Islanders are like, Christian, Catholic, Methodist, So it's like a bit of a taboo kind of image to touch. But yeah, social media is, man, they're going hard in the comments. But yeah,
man.
We'll see on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see what our other thoughts are on Sunday. We'll let it digest the whole thing, calm down, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, man, we're here for sports and another weekend of Super Rugby Pacific and the NRL.
Yo.
But before we get into that, we're gonna do picks and margins. I just want to get your thoughts on. We just talked about it before we jumped on the mics. Jordan Petaia, so he's signed off the LA Chargers, man. He's gone to do the whole program, the pathway program. I think NFL's been strong coming over down under, coming to Australia and New Zealand, trying to promote the game. I think they got a touch rugby version on NFL that they introduced to the South Island.
Yeah.
I think it was Beast Modes that came down.
Yep.
And he went down to South Island. They did a little with the kids, touch version of NFL. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts on that? Because this is not the first time, eh? He had what's his name from the Premier Eagles go over.
Jared Hayne?
Jared Hayne, yeah, that's
Jared
right.
Hayne, yeah.
Now Jordan Petaia there. What are your thoughts?
Man, it's. I reckon it's good. Rugby league, rugby union can be pathways to the NFL, especially because it's so popular here. Like a lot of people watch it, like Super Bowl, but everyone went to the pubs to watch it. So it's definitely a good pathway to take, and I'm all for it. A lot of our Polynesian stars that play in rugby league and rugby union, that's the only pathway that they see. But now there's a third pathway to go out in the world and especially with the money they make, like the money that they secure just from a rookie season will be enough to look after their families for a long time. And especially with the economy the way it is, man, go out there and get your money.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, man, like the other thing was the opportunity of last time. Like I was reading the article to you before we jumped on the mics, and just hearing Jordan talk about how it was like he always loved watching NFL growing up, and being part of New Zealand and Australia. Like he grew up playing rugby or rugby league. The other contact sport is American football, and we Islanders love our contact sports, whether it be in the boxing arena too, all the contact stuff. So NFL has always been one of those things that we ever in the back of our minds to enjoy, like if it's not like playing Madden on PS5 or PS4 or whatever it is, and just watching the Super Bowl, like you said, it's just
Even
a part
the
of it,
movies.
just a part. And movies,
Any given Sunday.
yeah, man. And just
Friday
seeing all
Night
our Islanders going over there via American Samoa, like the pathways there. There's a whole lot of Islanders that play in the NFL, in the defense mostly there, but they're starting to come through as quarterbacks and in the offense.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. There's a lot of them now, and it's good to have that New Zealand Australian pathway as well. The whole thing. So yeah, you can't complain, eh? Go get your money, man. Cause
especially with this Vegas games that we're playing up there. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, what's this?"
Exactly. And NRL have to be careful because they be doing is showcasing the talent, NRL talent, so the NFL can swipe them, man. Like, who's this guy?
There's no such thing as a salary cap.
Yeah, facts. Man. Now, man, good stuff for Jordan. Go get your money, man, and hope he makes it to the starting team.
Yo,
thanks for jumping on another week. We're about to do this picks and margins. So we're gonna start with Super Rugby Pacific, and man, the first game on Friday tomorrow. We're gonna go Chiefs and Reds. The game is gonna be played over in Hamilton, and the Chiefs are a force in Hamilton. Is probably their fortress. Reds don't do too well overseas, although they've won They've won the last 3 games. They're on a 3-game winning streak. But Chiefs got paying $1.18 at CAB to the Reds $4.40. It's a no-brainer for me, man. Chiefs gonna do this, man. They're just too strong at home.
I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be Chiefs 12 and under. I'm really lucky in the forwards there for the Chiefs. They're not the flashiest forward pack, but they're winning those breakdowns. And I think that's key. I think that's how Moana beat the Crusaders last week, was breakdowns. So I'm looking forward to it. This would be a game for Ratama to kind of step out and put his name up for All Blacks, because he needs to distribute that ball and showcase. This is a perfect time for him to showcase his talent for All Black selectors. So I reckon, Chiefs. I'll go 12 and under.
Nice. I actually go 13 plus for the Chiefs. I think when they're on, they're gonna be on, and they'll be hard to stop. Although Anton and the Brown is injured, he's not there, so they've got Daniel Arona as 13 there. Leroy Carter's back on the wing, so he's exciting. That guy, he's tough on the wing. So you got Sean Stevenson at the back and Nara on the other wing too. So I don't think they lose much without Leonard Brown there. Still a strong team, and the key is McKenzie.
Yeah,
Damien McKenzie, he's the key. So they're at home. McKenzie's playing, and a pretty strong team. Looking at the Reds, they're pretty much the same team also,
Yeah.
Except Tim Ryan's not there, but probably still the same there. Fraser McWright, he's been shining light for the Australian players, in terms of number 7. I think Joe Smith's going to have a tough time picking his starting number 7, because there's some good ones running around there. You got the guy from the Force, Carlos Tizano.
And for the Brumbies awesome as well. Yeah. Number 7 for the Brumbies. Oh, what's his name? I got to look it up. But he's been doing well as well.
Both got Chiefs. We got different margins. Next game, we'll move over to Moana Pacifica against the Waratahs. Now, man, Moana coming off that big upset win last week.
Yep.
And they want to still carry that momentum over, man. So they're lucky they're playing back at home. They're at North Harbour Stadium for this one. Expect to see more people there.
Bro,
more of a crowd there, I guess. It's going to be a little bit more packed.
Yeah.
They're playing the Waratahs, who are a shit overseas, Like, for some reason, they just can't put it together when they travel, man.
Yeah, and it's been heavy. Like, some good margins been put on them.
Yeah. Good to see Joseph Sawley's back. He's back on playing fullback. So hopefully he can do some better things out there. But I think this is going to be a good game, This is going to be a good, entertaining game. If Moana can do what they did against the Crusaders, it might be lights out, like 13 plus for Moana. And I think if you look at Moana's season, they've been building up to that Crusaders game. And I think that's going to carry on, especially because they'll be at home, right? And Adi Savier's back.
Is there any changes to the squad?
Back too. Taumoi Folau's back on the wing. So, but the X factor there. So, I think Moana Pacifica 13 plus.
Yo, I have to agree with that, because that Pellegrini, he's the man. His kicks have been amazing, and the forwards have been packing it in and turning over some ball. Like, I remember when the Crusaders was on the line just near the end of that first half, and Moana defended it well and won a penalty. So as long as we can win those breakdowns, I agree. I think Moana 13 plus. Waratahs are probably one of the weakest teams of the Australian comp, because the Force have been pulling up some good wins. So Waratahs. Is Swali back? Are you muted, Roos?
Oh yeah, he's playing fullback.
Oh yeah. I don't think he'll make much of a difference but nah. Swali should swap to Moana.
It's funny, the TAB got this game as a close one. Moana's paying $1.72 to Waratah's $2.05. So yeah, they're calling a close one here. But we can disagree. For 15 plus. Next game we're going to Fiji, and man, the Fijian Drua, they're strong at home. I think they only gave away one game to the Brumbies earlier this year at home, but I think they got two stadiums they play at in Fiji. One of them they've got a perfect record at. I'm not sure if this is the stadium they're playing at. It's the HFC Bank Stadium. Yeah, I don't know if that's the stadium that they've got a perfect record at.
Yep.
Because when they lost to Brumbies, it was a stadium that they haven't got a good record at. So yeah, the Crusaders coming off that embarrassing loss, and you might say that it was Rob Penny's fault because he put a B team on there.
Yeah,
he rested a lot of players, and maybe he shouldn't have underestimated Moana like that. But this is a different story when you're going over to Fiji. Probably be a good homecoming with some of the Fiji players Crusaders have, right?
Yep.
Like Silver Reese and Shea Fihak. But I think it's going to be a hard game. And I think, this is a tough one. I think it's going to be a close one. And we caught an upset for Fiji Drua last week, but we didn't get it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're facing a Crusaders team that wants to make a comeback.
Yeah.
This is a hard one, man. I think I'm going for I'm going for Fiji, man. 12 and under. Rob Penny has a bad record for over. Hey, you were the one that said that overseas wins. The only away win was with the Blues, and the Blues were playing like crap anyway. So it makes sense that they win at Eden Park. But to keep their record going, they have to lose again going away. So I think Fiji Drua want to do it, eh? Gonna do it. They came off a bye, I think. Hey, did they?
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't play last week. Oh no, they lost last week. Man, this is a tough one too. My heart's saying Fiji, but my head says Crusaders. But I want to support our brothers, man. So
shit, they got Silver Reese here playing centre.
Oh, what?
What the hell?
Oh, nah, that's Fiji for sure. That's Drua for sure.
Man, what the hell is that all about? So that allows Maka Springer, Fihaki, and Will Jordan at the back three, while keeping Reese in the mix too. So he plays centre. McLeod's 12. Kamada's back at 10. No, I think Havili got injured, so he's out. Levi Amour's on the bench. O'Connor's back on the bench. He really had a poor game last week, eh? Or he was outshone by Pellegrini last week. They're starting Cody Taylor this time, so I think Rob Penny's probably learned his lesson a bit, like keeping too many of his best players off that game and getting beaten. Now he wants to make sure they come back with a win. So yeah, I picked Fiji, but this is a tough one, man.
Yeah,
Crusaders can win this one too. I'm just going for home advantage for this one. How about you?
I'll go Crusade. No. You know what? Screw it. Fiji Drua, 12 and under. I reckon Crusaders will lead the whole way, and then it'll be a try from Fiji right in the last 9 minutes. Yeah,
and the crowd will get Fiji on there. The crowd will get Fiji on.
Facts.
So we're talking about TAB here. Is giving Crusaders to win $1.50 to Fiji Drua's $2.45. So not a bad margin there.
Yep.
It's a better margin than the Moana and Waratahs, but still not a bad margin there. Next game. As Blues fans, we need to see some wins, man. The 1 out of 6 is poor, man. 1 out of 7, or whatever it is.
And it was against, I think it was against the Hurricanes.
It's against the Hurricanes.
Oh, man, that was a bad game too.
So if you're looking at the table and you're looking at how the Blues and Hurricanes are tracking, you can say, and I can say, that these two teams are probably on the same level as each other. Both teams have ups and downs. The Blues had just downs, but Blues downs is like sort of like the default. They win by default here. But happy to announce, I saw on social media that Beauden Barrett's back at number 10. So that broken hand just healed miraculously quickly, and he's back. Let me see the thing here. Finlay Christie starting at 9, about time, because he's been playing mean off the bench. He's been coming off the bench and been playing mean. AJ Lamb's back. That's a good bonus for us. Back at 12. Rico stays at 13. We got Talia Clark and Corey Evans at the back. So that's a quick back 3A. I like Corey Evans. He's been playing good. He's been solid with his speed and stuff. Stephen Perifetza's on the bench. I don't know. I would have liked to see Perifetza starting just to get the hang of it again. Yeah, but he's not. He's on the bench, so maybe he's coming up with he'll be coming with impact along with Cameron Swarford, and he's on the bench too, so he'll be some mean impact when he comes back on. Yeah, hooker Kurt Eklund's back. I don't know if you've seen the news, but a lot of write-ups for Duplessis Karifi making the All Blacks as a number 7 because he's been playing mean. Hurricanes, you're looking at sort of like the similar teams that they've been playing, but they're playing at Eden Park, and Blues need a win. They're desperate for a win. I think Blues lose this game, then it's good night. Like I think it's hard to come back. It'll be hard to come back. So this is a must-win game for the Blues, and they'll be desperate, man. And I'm gonna give my faith to my team, man. The TAB's actually got them to win $1.45 to Hurricanes $2.60. Hurricanes, I don't think Hurricanes play good. They don't play good when they travel. I'm giving Blues 12 and under for the win.
Regarding Umaga Jensen, I'll go. Man, sucks. I love my Blues, but I don't know. I think Hurricanes might take the say. No. I'll stay with Blues. Blues 12 and under.
I think it depends on Beauden Barrett. If he has a good game, if he has a good tactical kicking game, and if he has a good running game, because remember he came off that try when he broke his hand last week, and that's what their Blues were missing. You're right about Roygaard though. He's those off the mark kind of halfbacks that can snipe.
He's unpredictable. That's he's a factor, bro. Yeah,
and that's why I think Finlay Christie is there too, because he's not as athletic, but he's quick off the mark, So yeah, we'll see. Okay, who'd you have? You had the Blues, or
Blues 12 and under.
12 and under.
Just.
It's Eden Park. It's a must-win. They have to win. They're on desperate mode, and they're gonna do it. They have to do it.
If the Blues lose, bro, I don't know. It's Moana Pacifica now. I'll say to the Blues next year.
All right, last game of the round. We've got the Western Force versus the Highlanders up in Perth. Man, Highlanders on the losing streak,
Yeah, and now they're traveling.
Traveling. So, and the Force are unpredictable too. They've been up and down, but when they win well.
Yep.
When they lose, they sort of score the points, but they just fizzle out at the end. So I think this is a game similar to the Blues Hurricanes game. These are similar sort of on the same level teams there. So on that note, I'm giving it to Perth, Western Force, because they're at home.
Yeah.
And Highlanders are traveling. TAB's got this game close too. Highlanders at $2.30, while the Western Force are $1.57. $1.57 because they're at home. So I think 12 and under for the Force for me.
Yeah. I'll go the same. Force 12 and under. It all depends if the group and Mau do well at set piece, because I think the Force, they do well off the cuff plays, whereas Highlanders they build well off set pieces. So if the line out and the scrums are good, Highlanders can pull this off, but I don't see it happening. The last couple of weeks has just been a bit off for them. But I'll go Force 12 and under.
Nice. So that's us for the Super Rugby Pacific.
Yo.
Good luck, man. Good luck for your bets.
Good luck. Bet responsibly.
We're going to move on to the NRL. And where are we up to? We're up to what round? NRL.
Round 5.
Round 5. So the first game tonight. So probably when this comes up, the game's already done. So should do a picks anyway. Canberra Raiders versus Sharks. And at Canberra. Sharks lost the game last week. That's the one we got wrong.
Yo. Against a
surprising
powerful.
loss.
Yo.
Canberra's on the downward slope now. They lost to the Cowboys. Gave the Cowboys their first win last week.
Yeah.
So they'll be playing away. So they're back at home now. So maybe they've got some confidence back playing at home. And Sticky will be on to them, those guys, during the week too.
Yo.
But I'm going for Canberra on this one, 12 and under, being at home.
Sharks will be fuming over last week's game, loss to the Dogs. So I think Sharks will be looking for a bit of redemption. Phil Blake, he was making the meters, but like no support was there. Iro went off for a little bit, and that right side where Muritalo was a little bit off. So we see how it goes, man. If Tomoko and Tamale and Wicks get off on the right foot, I reckon, Canberra can pull it off. But my gut feeling says Cronulla Sharks, 12 and under. I don't know why. I think the Sharks are looking for revenge. The Raiders, they had full squads against Cowboys. And they lost, And this is a Cowboys outfit that went 0-3. So I'll go Sharks, 12 and under.
Nice. Well, TAB's got the Sharks to win $1.65. So Canberra's $2.25. So next game, speaking about the Cowboys, they've got Penrith Panthers. Penrith Panthers, man, what's going on? Three losses in a row.
Oh, thanks. I keep picking him too. Sorry.
So they're playing at home. So they host the Queenslanders.
Yep.
Notable omissions due injury is Brian Saul. Nathan Cleary's back. Number 7. He's named in the house. So that's good news for Penrith.
Yeah.
I think just that alone, his naming.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to go 4 in a row. They can't go 4 in a row. So their man is back, and I think they're gonna. And they are playing the Cowboys, who's only had one win, and that win was at their home. So they've been atrocious away. Pretty much the same team I can see on the North Queensland side. I'm going Penrith on this one, man. Penrith to win 12 and under for me. TAB's got Penrith at $1.22. North Queensland at $4.25, so there's a big margin there.
Well, Penrith, when they lost to the Storm, Cleary was out after 10 minutes. So, that was a given. But it was 30-24. That was the final score. Then last week, they didn't have Cleary. But that Schneider, whatever his name is, I forgot his name. But he did well. He steered the ship a little bit in that second half, which made a little comeback. I think 18 unanswered points in that second half. So 28-18. So the squad's still good. It just needs that direction. So you're right. With Cleary back, hopefully there'll be a bit more structure or shape in their attack. So I'll go Panthers, but it'll be a bit of a blowout. I'll say 13 plus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, next game. We've got the Rabbitohs and the Sydney Roosters. You said it was going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game. Yo.
They're playing at Echo Stadium, which is home to the Rabbitohs for this game. TAB's got the Rabbitohs to win this one, $1.65 to Roosters $2.25. Who you got?
I'm going to go I'll go Rabbits on this one. 12 and under. And the reason being is Humphreys, the half. He has been awesome for the team. Especially if you're looking at NRL fantasy. His numbers are pretty high, his score numbers. And that Hubner's back. He's a tackle machine, that guy. And he just got back from suspension, so it's going to be a good one. Kolomatangi has been awesome as well for the Rabbitohs. I reckon he'll pick up some good meters. And I think this is a really good team, especially when you got Bennett in the mix. He can change the squad out of nowhere. Sydney, man, I'm a big fan of that Nafahi White. He's got some good legs on him, mate, just to keep pumping through those tackles with tackle breaks and whatnot. You can't go past Tedesco as well. He's always a bit of a playmaker as well. But I'll go Rabbitohs 12 and under. But the key for this game is we'll see how the new law comes into effect with the whole sin bin with head contact. Because this game gets pretty heated. Both sides go pretty hard, so this will be a game to see how the refs dictate how it goes. Because sometimes, especially when these two teams play, they kind of let it go, let it slide a bit. But this is going to be a tough one. But yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned Lachlan Hubner for the Rabbitohs because, man, I've seen him on the fantasy. His points are up there too, his averages. Yeah. So he's averaging over 100 meters per game as well, as well as his tackle count there. He's played 2 games this season, and he's still on 92% of his tackles. So yeah, interesting player to pick up if you haven't on the fantasy there. Yeah. But Humphreys, you're right. Humphreys, he's up there too. So I haven't really watched any Souths games. No. So, but it's like they're doing better than they have been doing last year. But
and Latrell's back, I think, is he?
Good call. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Just had a look. Yeah.
Yep. And Jay Gray, he's been playing well too at the back there.
For a little guy, man, he likes picking fights with forward too.
But you know what? It's good he was being on that Jay Gray because that allows the child to play in the centres where everyone wants him to be. Right? Yo. Man, if you have any friends or cousins who are Rabbitohs fans, that's the complaint they had all year last year.
Yeah.
That guy needs to be in the centres, man. We don't want this guy at the back. So I think all the Rabbitohs fans, man, they'll be happy to see the child back in number 3 jersey. But that's only because Jay Gray's been doing well. Yeah. But yeah, man. I think the Rabbitohs for me.
Yeah, Rabbitohs.
It's gonna be 13 plus for me.
Oh. Damn, Latrell factor, eh?
Latrell factor. That's right. Did I give the dollars? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Then we moved to Saturday. So Saturday's game, we've got the Parramatta Eels up against the St. George Dragons. St. George Dragons are pretty good, eh? I mean, I was impressed with their win against the Storm last week.
Yep.
They're playing at home. And yeah, man, I just thought they couldn't do it, but they did. But the way they played, they just shut down the Storm because the Storm couldn't even move, eh? When I watched the game.
Goes to show without Hughes, eh?
Yeah.
What a difference it makes when your key players out.
Yeah, but that's the thing, eh? Wishart is human after all.
Yo.
He was supposed to come in there and not change and not have any downside to the halves. Because he was awesome last year,
Yeah.
But he came in and you can tell that they need the Hughes, eh? But the Parramatta Eels just, man, on a down decline, man. They're like second of the team. Man, Toyota Cup team or something like playing against. Anyone's gonna beat them. Everyone will beat them, man. So yeah. I don't know who's gonna lose. Who's gonna be the first team to lose to the Parramatta Eels? That'll be like a embarrassing thing, eh? That's one thing we'll keep an eye on the first team to lose to the Eels. So Eels are paying $2.40 to the St. George Dragons $1.57. So TAB reckons it's gonna be a close game.
Ooh.
I got Dragons 13 plus on this one. How about you?
Yeah, Dragons. I'll say 12 and under. I think the Eels were trying to target this game as a potential win. But, man, yeah, Gutherson at the back, Holmes, Flanagan, Cook. Like, even though these guys are, like, near the end of their careers, they're still pumping, man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, I feel bad for the Eels there. But I think this will be another loss. Upset City was last week.
Yeah. A lot of upsets last week, man. Damn.
Oh, very facts.
Next game, we're going to... Where are we going? We're going to the Gold Coast Titans versus the Dolphins.
Derby.
Playing at the Gold Coast. So, man, the Dolphins have been disappointing. They've lost Bennett to the Souths. And, yeah, they haven't been winning much. I think they only won one game, so far.
Yeah. And I think Gilbert might be suspended. So he's out for this game, and he's a good player. He's actually a really good player.
Yeah, I don't have any much investment in this game. Don't really follow these teams at all. But I love I'll lean towards Gold Coast because they've got who's injured, Keanu Kini, who's the Kiwi who plays fullback, but he's out. He's injured. So yeah, this I don't know. TB's got Gold Coast to win this one $1.48 to Dolphins $2.65. So TB's banking on the home advantage there. So I think you know what, I want to go for Dolphins there.
Ooh,
I think the Dolphins might be able to find something in them.
Yeah,
because they're gonna have to build up something. They can't be losing all the time, and then So I think this might be a good win for the Dolphins. I'm picking the Dolphins 12 and under.
You need Osaka to play his heart out because that guy against the Broncos was just dangerous.
Yeah.
Avarillo, Farnworth, they're awesome players, but they just didn't quite execute that final pass to pass the Broncos. I want to go Dolphins, but man, Jaden Campbell has been instrumental for this team. I'll go. It's 50-50. I'll go Titans. 12 and under.
What about the news? Since talking about Gold Coast, Payne Haas and Tino might be playing for Toa Samoa for the next World Cup.
Yeah.
I know Payne Haas has been in the media talking about his allegiances and that, and he hasn't said it, like officially, but everyone knows it's gonna be Toa Samoa. But man, if that happens, both him and Tino go, man. What a team, What a Samoa team to play in the World Cup next year.
It's gonna be crazy. But
that'd be awesome.
It's sad how the Australian media takes it though.
Yeah, especially Mel. He's like, hey, if you're not gonna play for Australia, don't play for Queensland or New South Wales. Yeah, hey, that's what he was saying, mate.
It's just sad because when other players do it, they never complain because they're not in form. It'll be has-beens. But like, I think that's why everyone was, especially the Australian media, was all up for Jason Tamalolo because he never played for Aussie. He's a Kiwi, so he played for Kiwis, and they were like, oh, this is big for Tonga. Tamalolo switching, blah blah. But now it's an Aussie. It's a born Aussie. And him switching, everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't play State of Origin.
Yeah.
So the whole debate's come up again, And it's just, I don't know, for me it's kind of sad because, like, there's players that have gone from Samoa and Tonga back to the Aussies. Tabai Fido, Katoni Stags, to name a few. And there's no complaint from Tonga or Samoa. It's like, oh, yeah, no, you can go back. We understand, but like, World Cup's coming. If Australia wants to truly be the world's best, you got to play against the best. And that's allowing Australian players with mixed heritage to go back home. Even if it's just a one-off.
Well, if they take Origin out of the whole trial for Australia, then that works out, right?
Yeah.
You play for your state because you grew up in that state.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is, but is it just that technicality? Yeah, you take away the whole pathway through state of origin and everything comes correct. But I get it because they want the best players to play in Origin so they can pick those players.
Yeah.
Like you might be in the way of someone who really wants to play for Australia that comes from Queensland or New South Wales but can't get that pathway.
Yeah.
But you get the pathway playing in the NRL. So, just like the All Blacks pick players from Super Rugby, the Kangaroos pick the players from NRL. So, yeah.
Well, imagine if they took the Islanders out of Origin that wanted to play. Would you still watch it? You know what I mean?
Well, we were watching it when the Islanders weren't there.
Yeah.
When there was the old school State Origin where the hardly any Islanders, just indigenous.
Yo.
Yeah. Who was the first Islander to play in the State Origin anyway? If we discount the indigenous.
What, Pedro? Second.
Yes. Yeah, he's probably be one of them, eh?
Yeah. I'll say he's one of the first.
Yeah, interesting. Moving on. It's your team, mate. Brisbane Broncos paying $1.14. Paying $1.14 to West Tigers $5.80.
Oh.
Well, their TAB reckons it's going to be a blowout. They're paying at Suncorp, so that's the reason why. The Tigers lost at home to the Warriors last week.
Yeah.
And they don't think they can do better in Suncorp Stadium. Brisbane coming off a win last week. They're like sort of a comeback game from the loss the week before that. So they're trying to build momentum. How your Brisbane Broncos looking, mate?
Well, if we forget about that blip when we lost to Canberra, we've won our game against the Cowboys. We won our game against the Dolphins. But those two games we should have won 50+. We were the way, way better team. However, when it comes to us, our little brothers from the Queensland state, stepped up. So good battles, good to come with wins. Momentum's definitely on our side because Tony's back in the mix. I would say Broncos 13+. No, actually, Broncos 12 and under. I think this Tigers team has a lot of potential. And I think they'll keep the Broncos honest, especially on attack. I could chuck a lazy 5 on an upset, but I'll say Broncos, 12 and under. It'll be a good win. Yeah, good hard win.
Ooh, 12 and under. Shibazaki, he's been a revelation for you guys, eh?
Yo.
For 3 tries already. And there's 4 games played, so might be a contender for a top try scorer at the end of the season. Could be.
He's actually his story is pretty good. Like he grinded through the lower grades, and he just got given a chance, and he said he's just got to take up both hands. So yeah,
because because where is that last year? Because I heard one commentator say, "Oh, he's a journeyman. He's been around."
Yeah, I think he even played rugby for a bit.
Oh yeah. No, he's in. Who's he taking over? Because who was there last year? Who was the centers for you guys last year? It was
Stags and Arthurs.
Oh, well, was he in the centers?
Before they chucked him on the win, yeah.
Jesse Arthurs. I remember he played for the Warriors when they loaned him to the Warriors.
Yeah.
when the Warriors did the whole live over in Australia for the COVID thing. And they had to make up players and they had to borrow players from I think they borrowed someone from Penrith.
They borrowed some forwards as well.
Yeah. Was it Penrith as well? They borrowed some players. I know Arthurs we never played for the Warriors that year. Yeah, I'm going for Brisbane here, and I think it's going to be a blowout, 13 plus for the Bronx.
Yo.
Yeah, the West Tigers. I think that was a hard win, loss for them last week against the Warriors, being at home, and there's going to be an extra hard playing in Suncorp as well. Yeah. Although paying 580, that's a good return.
Yeah.
You have to hope. If you're betting on the West Tigers, you have to hope that Broncos have that bad game like they did that when bloody Reece Walsh got -2 on my fantasy, man. Shit. What the hell, man? Okay, next day, we're on Sunday. So my Manly Seagulls playing the Melbourne Storm, and like you said correctly, Turbo out injured for I think 3 or 4 weeks. He's got the same injury as Matt Burden for the Bulldogs. They are playing at home though, for Four Pines and the Brookvale. They're hard to beat at home, but this is the Storm, and they're a good team. Storm did lose over at Dragons last week. So I'm hoping that Seaboard can watch that Dragons game and get a bit of a blueprint. Get a bit of a blueprint there.
Yeah. But
Turbo's out, so the Faulalo, he comes back in on the wing. We got Saab, Hopoadig moves back to fullback, and then we got Garrick and Tola. Kola in the centres. Rich Cherry Evans and Brooks. It's Tavanga's playing hooker already. He's been good for hooker for us, eh? He's been solid there. Ola Kawatu. These guys have to be good, have good games this day at home against the Melbourne Storm, who has the same team as last week. Wishat, he's a good player. He's supposed to make no difference to the team with Hughes gone, but he did last week and they lost. So they're probably going to make up for it this week. But the back three, man, Xavier Coates, Will Warbrick, and Peppenhausen. Peppenhausen is like the answer to Manly's Turbo, and Turbo's not playing.
Yo.
Right?
Exactly.
Man, this is a hard game, man. This is a hard game.
I think the win percentage for Manly without Turbo is actually pretty bad. Man, Cherry Evans, with the whole news coming out, there's on the field and off the field issues just hitting them at once. I don't think this will be a big blowout, but I'm gonna say Storm just because Tom's not there. I'll say Storm 12 and under.
12 and under.
Yeah.
Manly did lose a couple of games, maybe a game at home last year. And I forgot who it was, but I remember watching that game, and Turbo wasn't playing either. So yeah, you're right. They do struggle without him. They try to find ways to win without him too, and I think it disrupts their whole game plan as well. So they don't get their looks like they used to with Turbo in there. So I'm gonna agree with you, man. Looking at that Storm team, they'll be hurting from that loss, and they wanna come back from that. So TAB's paying $1.55 for Storm to win, $2.45 for Seagulls. I'm going for Storm. Going off my head, not my heart.
Yeah.
In this one. Last game of the round. We got the top of the table Bulldogs undefeated.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Damn.
Wow.
Now they're coming up against the Newcastle Knights, who have dominated the news this season because of the Dylan Brown signing and the Kalen Ponga rumors coming to the Warriors.
Yo.
Oh, is that April Fool's or what, man?
Oh, facts.
Surely, is that April Fool's?
Surely the salaries are maximum already.
Well, you see all the Warriors fans doing the calculations, Nickel Cockstad's going, so that frees up. And Fanua Blake's gone, that's a bunch of money freed up.
Yeah.
Tamale Martin's going. Walker's gone, there's another bunch of money freed up. So we can afford Nathan Cleary. Come join your brother.
Waiting for Nathan Cleary to play for Tor.
Sure. But no, man. Yeah, I want to pick that, man. But I think the thing for me, Canterbury Bulldogs are doing this without Matt Brennan or Kikau.
Yo.
And they still might do it. The TAB's got Bulldogs winning this $46. It's a Newcastle Knights $2.75. Now, when you want to find out if the Knights gonna win the game or not, you look to see if Kalen Pong is playing. And he is, so yep, they got a chance. They've always got a chance when he plays. If you're on fantasy, you got Brandon Best, like I do. Man, he's a keeper, man. He's been scoring, man. He's
solid,
scoring.
Bro. Yo. Fuck. Big dude running that fast. Crazy.
Yep. Not the flashiest team though, eh? The Newcastle Knights. They're not the glamorous team to watch, eh? But yeah. I think I'm going Bulldogs for this one, eh? I don't know. I just feel like the Bulldogs, eh? Are they playing at home? They are.
Yeah, my head says Bulldogs, but I think the Knights will pull a little upset. I don't know. This is one of the games where it's like, if Maju, Best, Sharp, if those three can fire and allow Ponga to play his game the way he wants to, I think Knights can take it. Yeah. That's a sharp Canterbury team. But, yeah.
I don't know if you watch them play, if you watch the Bulldogs play, man, they look good on paper, but they look even better when you watch them, watch them on TV, man. Shit.
Yeah. Nah, I'll stick with Newcastle, 12 and under.
Nice. Sweet, man. Good luck for this weekend on the picks. Yeah, but no, man. As always, thanks for jumping on, helping me with doing these picks.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Yus.
No worries,
I'm sure
man.
people are complaining about my ugly mug on this on YouTube now.
Now I think they're more complaining about the wrong picks we've been doing for them every week. Yeah.
Hey, everyone watching this, follow your heart.
Not your mind.
You're not your mind. Bet
Follow your
responsibly. $1 bits. $1 bits.
Yo, yeah, man, that's us. Thanks also. You can find Eddie and the rest of the boys on the Empty Out the Clip podcast. You can find it on Spotify and on YouTube. Just go type it in and Empty Out the Clip podcast. Talking about, I don't know, what would you describe that podcast? It's opinions on Pasifika pop culture stuff on the news and ideas and segments. We've got food reviews. We've got
everything.
Yeah.
I think it's like, for me, to describe Empty Out the Clip is just life through an average Joe Polynesian lens.
Right. Yeah.
Where our viewpoints are just relatable.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see you there on Sunday when we record.
Yo, Seki Uso.
Catch you up.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Bye.